I like me better when I'm with you.
It's either a runaway train or the little engine that could, because MIBR has absolutely all the momentum on their side, and Renegades, they'll be thinking that they could. They're going to need to. As we get onto train, they have to answer back or they are gone.
They absolutely do. Their map picker Dust 2 fell very flat indeed. 16-7, MIBR look like they're back on top at this stage. They will kick off things on the T side of train here, and JKS has been the absolute star player for Renegades. He's looking to challenge the Brown Horse here. He's going to have a few players in front of him, does significant damage to 2, but no opening frag, and they'll have control now as he has to fall back. Kits available, just the one on the CT side, and a smoke on this player here, Gratisfaction, as it looks like MIBR might be getting ready to fall back towards outside. Now, they have no smokes. They're really relying on the firepower here, and there's not much of it, just Glocks and armor. They'll have to go together and try and trade out frags as they slow things right down now. How do they even crack open the A side? What is the plan here?
Well, Taco goes back around. Plan so far, seemingly, is a split with Ivy in the mix. In the blueprints.
Yeah, very slow approach here. Phelps as a decoy. That's about as exciting as it gets in that department. You've got Liaz holding towards the Ivy. He has the advantage in terms of challenging players with the USP, but now he falls back.
Already down through. Liaz has to back off even further. Does get one. USP, that starts it, but for turns it around. Back and forth again. To Mailu, 1 for 2, and finally as it gets around in their favor as he gets both of the USP. And Colds, he's gonna fall to the same man, and that man, he was slow on Dust too. Great start, exactly what Azza needs to get Renegades back into this series.
Very rare you'll see a T-side enter a pistol with no utility whatsoever, focusing on the pincer towards the outside bomb side. They managed to trade out frags initially, but it's the range of the USPs that says a resounding victory. Azza showing us that he's not down just yet. He gets 3 kills in that round, and it will be Renegades going up 1-0 here. MIBR, though, have been so deadly on these second round 4 spies. It's the Deagles, the PD-50s, this time with smokes and flashbangs here. And do they go for an outside execution? We will see. It's Fur who delivers an HE towards the bomb side there. Doesn't connect with any damage. But indeed, it looks like Zach will be setting up for a smoke or flashbang here, as they'll set 2 players up towards Ivy as well. Gratisfaction on the scouts. Only a couple of rifles available. That's the FAMAS of Jacob and Az's AUG, as Liaz plays very defensively towards Ivy. He seems to shoulder peeking towards the end of it. As soon as he detects any threat on the other side, he'll throw that HE.
Smoke still in hand, and you're absolutely right. By the time, meanwhile, Cold, he'll try and open up the inner sight. Deagle, distance, knows the off angle well, tries to go back out, tries a 3rd time, 4th, why not? It's not going to happen. Jacob smartly gets off of it. Don't tempt the fate.
His trained Eagle is absolutely unbelievable, by the way. I've gotten some unspeakable things from Cold Zero on this particular map, but at least for now, no damage done. Throws a decoy towards inner, and it's the outside play. The smokes are down, the flashbang's coming through. This will be the final play from MIBR as a flashbang looks to be set up. This actually looks like to be a bit of a double fake here, because they're going to be dropping the initial utility with some decoys and flashbangs outside to bait out whatever the CTs had. And now this will be the final play. The smokes still in hand. 30 seconds remain, and this is it now. Smokes all over the bomb side there. They trickle down, and it's up to Gratisfaction to do the initial damage. He misses that first shot, and here come the Brazilians straight towards the bomb side.
I'm going to come back to those smokes. There's a miscommunication. It's right there.
Yeah.
Azza, he's found it. There was 2 smokes that landed Z connector. They were lined up differently, but somehow they're not on the same page. They haven't identified that one person is not throwing the essential smoke toward the E-box. Sure, they don't have guns, but if they want to get a bomb down, they need to limit the vision, and Azza was able to pick that out easily.
Yeah, 2 smokes landed in the same position there. Something goes horribly wrong for MIBR. That's a massive gap to leave, and the rifles will just absolutely chew through them there. It's MIBR now have to play the full eco and buy up into the next round. This is almost guaranteed to be 3-0 now. Renegades find a bit of fortune there. Round 3, and MIBR will just have a Deagle and a couple of P250s. That's it. No armor, no nades, and the most common approach here is head towards the inside bomb site, wait for the initial push, and then go in together, see if you can get 1 kill and plant the bomb. That's a little bit distressing for the MIBR squad. Shouldn't be looking that ropey, but either way, as Jacob gets in position, he should be good for a couple of kills here, no problem.
I don't know if he gets caught out. Jacob is ready to go. He slings back around the corner.
Wow.
That's quite the nade.
That's enough.
Yep, that'll hurt. This one will too. Were they far enough? Not quite. It won't take Taco down, but it certainly makes matters worse. That's enough. Is it? Fallen still wants to go back over. Jacob, though, at range now. And he has that with the FAMAS. We'll take down Fur. Just to note, no kills since the pistol, so if Renegades can keep all 5 alive again, that money starts to build up and they're in a... okay. I spoke too soon. I seem to always do that, don't I? Don't all of us casters seem to do that? The point is, I was going to say that they can start to build up, and they're in a bit of a situation where the bonus is available to them.
Phelps with the P250 here. They didn't have many options. They've got that 1 kill towards inside, but still 2 CT players ready and waiting to deny the plant. That's their objective here. It's pretty much guaranteed they win this round, as Taco will have to go back up the ladder. Az is ready to drop another incendiary there. That's going to push them towards inside. They have to commit off this now. And it looks like JKS will get all 3, to be honest. Such a prime position. He's got his teammate Gratisfaction with the scout just to soften them up as they come down. But I feel like JKS gets all 3 here, no problem.
JKS should indeed. Gratisfaction steals one away, but that's fine. Same result in the end, and they'll be pleased with that. It's, again, a situation, as previously mentioned, where in which a bonus is available. They've got 2 SMGs. Gratisfaction likely gets off the scout. But they've already got the 2 AUGs brought up as well. And going against the AKs, so long as they can cover off the angles correctly, it should be fine. And it is, I will confirm, the AWP for Gratisfaction.
Yeah, good call by him. He knows there's a massive advantage here. They've got a 3-0 lead. Sure, it's going to cost you a lot of money to throw that scout away, but that's absolutely fine. They are going to keep the UMP and MP9, however, but that's also very viable on a map like Train. Get towards that pop dog position, play in front of the smokes. You can make this work off the back of the AWP. No warp for MIBR, though. They've had a rough start here on Train. 3-0 down, 5 AKs for now, but need to start posting some rounds. What a common setup this one. We're seeing this more and more. 2 players in towards a pop dog allows you to look towards the main entrance and indeed the ladder itself. Feel a bit too much pressure, you can fall back as Liaz will have 2 players heading towards Ivy. Firing off shots and doing quite significant damage towards Phelps there. A little bit towards Fallen as well. That's going to slow them down somewhat. They have no smokes remaining now on the T side.
It's backs away. Nade already in through Ivy. Faction has his attention turned the same direction, so crossfire potential. Grat looks away. MP9 seemingly struggling so far in this series. Manages to get away, though. That's a smart play. Brings the op up close. Don't know if that's what you would have intended, because now the op goes down. That's the one gun you would like to carry over, despite the bonus situation. They've invested a little bit more into it with that. I'll buy him one from someone else if they don't pull it back, but Leas does get Fur. MP9, I mentioned it. It just couldn't do enough when they walked in from Ivy cold. Ooh, he's encroaching.
Yeah, he's in a great spot here, Matt. He's the only player of 100 HP. And a godlike aim as well, it seems. Fantastic work from him. They stayed very patient there. They had no smokes. They're waiting for CTs to give them opportunities there. Cold Zero of 100 HP. He knew he had to close that one out, and he absolutely does. 3 players survive as the money starts to drain from the Renegades' bank accounts. But here's Fallen patching out the AWP towards the end of Ivy. And then they managed to work as a fragging unit there, making sure every trade was going in their favor. Lovely work from Cold. And we get into round number 5 here. 2 Deagles on the CT side. Liaz and Jacob will just go down to pistols here. The Gratisfaction, he can win the round single-handedly with an AWP. It's that sort of map. The AWPs are so powerful on the CT side of Train. He'll have to step up, though. No AWP on the T side. Maybe I did not recover it from the previous round. As they do have control of Pop Dog Room now, it's Jacob who has to watch main entrance.
He does, and he will. He's got a Deagle already out. He follows it up. Style, that's one way for it, but effective as well, more importantly, because they have the man advantage. As Fur, he tries to crawl around, to climb the ladder, and find anyone who dare be willing to give themselves up. Throw the AK back in a little further, keep it out of harm's way, out of enemy hands, more importantly.
Now, the brilliant thing about that is, they only know there's a Deagle up there. They don't know Gratisfaction's brought up the AWP, so they might be a little bit more cavalier with their approach on the T side, trying to make these challenges happen, knowing that only pistols are there. But there is a rifle for JKS, and indeed Azza, and Gratisfaction yet to fire a bullet with the AWP. So this is looking very good for Renegades right now, as they hold the advantage in the 4-on-3.
Numbers getting closer and closer. Though, Gratisfaction, there it is, you're exactly right. He had no idea. He thought he was safe to work up, and immediately the AWP popped out. Easy lane to fire into. And it is going back the way of Renegades so far, but Taco does at least get Azza. Down to 3 remaining. Molotov certainly pushes. Oh, 2 HP. Leia's just barely alive. 2 HP is enough, though. He gets Taco. It's a problem now because Fallen's on 31. He knows the op's way down toward Ivy, and it doesn't need to peek at this point. Let him commit to the site. Nade.
Ouch.
He's on 11. That's going to hurt even more, and Gratisfaction knows that he's there. He's got the lineup. Does he? Not quite. But he will now. Fallen still making this work.
8 seconds, though.
Desperate desires and unadmirable plans. He's got to try and find it inside of the site, and you're right. It was too desperate at that point with 8 seconds left as Renegades find their 4th and, importantly, reset MIBR.
It is a massive reset on the T side. They win 1 round, and Renegades somehow make this work. They came in with 2 Deagles and a couple of rifles, and it's Jacob who absolutely stuns them towards the main entrance, and Pop Dog there. Great footwork around the E-box there. Somehow didn't take much damage at all as well. And it's going to be the force buy in response here. MIBR are known to be a stubborn team. They like to make these force buys work. They're bringing a couple of MAC-10s, a Deagle, and Taco's got the only rifle available. But luckily for him, it is the AK-47. As they head towards inside, it is straight up rushing this. I think they might be. It's JKS. He might be a little bit late on the incendiary, but not with the bullets. He gets the first. Can he find a second? They have snuck their way towards the bomb site here as things start to calm down. But here come those MAC-10s. Bomb's down.
He absolutely goes down, and you're right, the bomb is
no.
Azza. That's not who you were looking for. That makes matters worse. It's welcomed surely on the MIBR side, but bomb, again, it's still so far forward. It was a huge mistake to take it up that far. Oh, no, this could be huge. Phelps wants to swing in behind. Unfortunately, I think time reveals, yeah, exactly, that he was probably missing. It's for a reason. Look back towards the connector. Had to be the call, and while I'm that far forward, it would make perfect sense. So the round is done at this point in time. 5-1, though. Great start for Renegades, already achieving way more success than on Dust 2, and doing it on the map that was picked by MIBR.
Yeah, MIBR keep force buying now. They're not getting any plants. In terms of loss bonus, it's not really there for them. They're going to have second stage after this, so another eco is on the cards. They were hoping to at least get a plant out of this, but bit of chaos towards that lower ramp and landing in the incendiary. They couldn't get the plant down. I'm not sure if Fur realized he had the bomb, but Jacob managed to find it just there. This is the team kill. Luckily for the Renegades, it doesn't come back to haunt them too much. Sure, it's not ideal, but it's still 5-1 in their favor. They know they've broken the money down because that was a force buy. If you detect helmets on the T side, even if they have pistols, just see that spark come out of their helmet when he shoots it. You know they spent $1,000 there. You can track their money. You know they've been reset. They can only have a maximum of about $2,000. So if they've got Deagles and armor, they're going to be full eco now, which is exactly what's happening with the PD-50s and Glocks. No armor, no nades. A really rough start here for MIBR. But they are on the T side here, Matt. It is considered a CT-sided affair, but you'd expect MIBR to at least post it a few rounds by now. But still very early days as they look to try and get a plant down here. Looking a little bit out of their depth right now. Renegades consider this to be a strong map for them. Because after that, they break between the first map and this one. And so far, so good. This will allow them to have a lot of money going forward. They're probably going to keep all 5 players alive, maybe lose a couple at the very most.
Taco just checking again down below at the bottom of the ladder. Fantastic start for Renegades, but the money, as you say, is still within reason. So we'll see if they can at least make this costly. More importantly, get the bomb in position. All right, smoke, deep, Fallen. It's not really going to do much. First off, there's a gap. Second off, Fur and Phelps are already in a great position. You might as well use the utility where you can, AWP. Expecting them to jump across. He's got to be careful not to get caught with a flash out. Azza, he'll call the fact that they were there. Gratisfaction gets back in position as a result, and position enough, it seems, as the AWP will do just enough to keep them occupied, allow Azza to slip out in the end in 6-1.
All 5 players survive. Gratisfaction starting to get warmed up now. We didn't see enough from him on Dust 2. But he's certainly causing some damage here in the first half, and no AWP again for MIBR. Their finances have been an absolute nightmare here. 4 AKs and Fallen has to go for the Galil. I'd assume we'll see more of a set-piece mentality now, considering the AWP is shutting them down. Renegades, though, seem to be aggressive. They're playing in front of smokes. I'll be interested to see what MIBR will bring to the table now. It's round number 8, 6-1, in favor of Renegades on their CT side. A default, by the looks of things, nothing too spectacular, at least from the get-go here in round number 8. Let's see Azza really feeling it now, recovering from his quiet performance in Dust 2, and Jacob in towards that main entrance, getting tons of information, denying access for the T's. They focus towards Ivy here. The Gratisfaction, even though he's flashed, nails the Incendiary and will slow them down.
Decent effort, very aggressive effort on the outside side from Renegade so far. All facets covered off with utility. JKS. Solo B at this point. Asa might try and go for the flank. He's yet to do it. 3-2 split, by the way. Fallen slowly leading back, but Phelps, he could push through and try and lurk. Asa is still considering it, but Jacob already rotating over certainly strengthens the fact that B is, by the way, where the bomb is going, but more covered for the CT side. Flash from Cole, potentially. He's just waiting to make sure the ramp's covered off as well, make sure no one's going to sneak up. Can flash his teammates around. Fallen. I think that's what they're waiting for.
They have no smokes again here, Matt. 35 seconds remaining. I think they're going to go out the upper ramp, flash over, and just hope the orb's not there.
The problem going up a ramp right now is you're going to be so desperate to get away from Jacob. You fall right in front of JKS, and Jacob, even without vision, he's got one. This is it. JKS has bomb. They never would have expected him to be on the same side. Stacked up left. And it works out perfectly. Bomb down, Fallen, trying to get forward. He'll be spotted. Does manage to pull one back.
His teammate's so far removed, though. He's all the way in T-Spawn. If Fallen dies here, round's done. Phelps, not even worth going for this, to be honest. Defuse coming in. He won't even arrive in time.
Yeah,
What's going on here?
He's going to run it. There's no way. Gratisfaction's already got the op. Just keep the AK. You're right, absolutely, at that point. Defuse done. 7-1.
This is very odd from MIBR. Yes, their money's been a nightmare, but they're not leaving themselves any resources at all when they finally commit. 0 smokes and a couple of flashes. They're going towards inside, and the setup from Renegades are fantastic. Really reading them quite well here. And JKS not missing many shots at all. You can see most teams are focused on a double orb setup on the CT side of Train. Renegades has certainly ran that before. In 2018, they're doing it a lot with JKS holding inside of the AWP. But he's finding so much success with the rifle, allows him to retake the outside bomb site with clutch potential, which is his bread and butter. Why would you want him on the orb? Keep him on that rifle, keep him fragging. And Cold Zera looking to join him there as he jumps out the main entrance. And again, it's a very sloppy approach now. They run through the flames and they'll lose the bomb quickly. It's Jacob and Azab, no problem at all. Find the first 2 kills.
Cold only gets 1, falling off the train. He's caught in the air, and Jacob, he follows it. He'll follow it further, and JKS and actually beats him to the punch. 8-1. This is remarkable. We just finished bigging up MIBR's Train. It turns out the little engine that could is going up this hill fast. 8-1 CT side. And again, you mentioned it, the money is the factor. Bombs aren't going down enough.
We haven't had an orb for Fallen once yet. We're going into round number 10.
That's ridiculous on this map.
Yeah, on Train, and they keep force buying. They're making mistakes on their force buys with those smokes we saw. They need to take the time out. This is their first one. I'm surprised they didn't take one after that nightmare round in number 2. I feel like that should have come in before. Now the force buys keep happening. They're not really looking that efficient. And Jacob, you can see there's no flashes position. There's no smokes down. He's just helping himself to frag after frag, and he's playing very well indeed.
Spectacular, absolutely. Kassad with the lovely shoulder bumps.
Oh, he loves that. He's a very passionate man. Loves it when his team plays well. And he makes sure they receive the love at the same time. It's round 10 and no force buy at this juncture. We are currently at maximum loss bonus, but it's not enough to persuade them to buy here. They'll go for the partial with the Deagle's armor and a scout. Is this the round they can start to look a little bit more dangerous? We'll see Fallen with their first shot. That's why you want him on the orb. He's so good at the snipers. He finds the first of the scout. That's Liaz removed.
He's the only gun, though, and that gun is that they would have put down and potentially picked up is at the other end of Ivy, so they won't be able to get toward that for holding the close angle once. Potentially Fallen to bait one in toward him. His faction goes back out to where the first kill came in, and he has the op staring in that direction. They're going to try and run boost. Low HP for Fallen. It doesn't matter. He's found immediately. The op positioned exactly where it needed to be. And they double peek, though. Cold. Great shot on the Deagle. You mentioned it on Train. He's known for it. Jacob does collect further, walking in from main, knows he's alone, and he can immediately fall back to cover off where the 2 previous kills came in. Still, though, it's a 3-on-3. They want to get down Ivy as well because there's guns in this position. Phelps has now picked up the AUG. There's a scout still down on the left as well, an op just in front of him. Backtracks. Jacob's aware if the smoke's off to forward hell, he needs to make sure that that op stays on the ground. So far, he's not sure of it. He'll check, and check again, and now he sees it, he'll hold the angle. If he didn't see it, he may have elected to fall off of it, thinking that they already grabbed it and got away, but instead, he sneaks in and he makes the play. It's Phelps that's standing with his back turned, never knowing he would arrive so late. Now it's only pistols over toward B, and JKS, he's been fashioned in this position the entire round. Cold will have to be quite impressive. I think tried to mask the fact that he dropped a little late to hit the shot, but still he gets a second, but not enough with Azar on the flank.
They were trying to run the timer down there and leave Cold zero of no money. At that point, he gets the kill. Yeah, they're starting to think let's just end this now before he does something unbelievable. But it's 9-1. That's an unbelievable scoreline here. MIBR do not look that competitive so far on Train. They will finally get the AWP out on one of the most iconic snipers of CSGO history in round number 11. That is just gobstopping. I'm not really sure why that's happening. It's unbelievable. We'll see whether this is going to be where they can actually start showing us what they're made of on Train. It's round number 11, and finally they have the sniper rifle they need. Flashbangs in towards main entrance, and now Fallen works towards Ivy. That's where Gratisfaction has usually been, but this time heads towards the inside area. Run boost over. We'll see now with Fallen. Will be able to detect any threat on the other side. There is a player there, but it's Liaz with the AWP, who shouldn't be challenging too aggressively here.
Tries to get back through the smoke. They now know that the AWP is certainly in his hands. It had to be a matter of time. Leas, he'll be forced off of it. Gratisfaction still on the other side. AWP up close, and we know he's comfortable taking this fight. He's done it many times so far in this half, with notable success as well. That gun barrel might actually get spotted, but now the execution in front of the site. Jacob's got better position, but it's traded off by Taco. Gratisfaction, he's gone back in. Very smart incendiary towards Sandwich, because he knows there's no one watching that side yet again. Did he spot the player jumping across? It was visible, but was his eyes elsewhere? Was he watching the radar? Fallen instead. He'll get one, but it's traded off, and Grat has the angle. Grat knows it too. All on Fallen. Finally gets his gun in hand. But the round's still slipping away. 31 seconds, and they're watching this direction. They know he's over to try and recover the bomb. He can't slip it behind the train. That'll keep him out of the watchful gaze of Leas, who's up above. He won't be able to see this, won't be able to detect it, and Fallen even wants to force it out with the pistol. That makes it rather obvious. Still, he commits to the play. Gonna reach Leas? I don't think it will.
Nope. He's absolutely fine.
So he's still up there. Fallen might think that's clear. Even if he finds one toward long, yeah, he thinks it's wide open, and Leas was there the whole time.
Another fantastic round there from Renegades, and Fallen, we did say he gets that AWP, managed to get 2 kills. Nice idea, good awareness to drop the Molotov towards the heaven position, but the flames didn't quite reach. That's why he shot at the window to make sure the Molotov went as deep as it possibly could, but still wasn't enough. And Liaz managed to find a couple of kills towards Ivy, finishes it off with denying the plants. And once again, MIBR forced buying into the round. They need to get at least 4 here, as I bring out a couple of Galils, some AKs, and no one really turning up on the T side. It's Phelps 2-11, Taco 3-10, Burr 4-11. These are big names and key fraggers on the squad. And it's all about Azar and Jacob, though, doing great work, and Gratisfaction holding the connector. Strong as ever with that AWP. JKS, what an anchor he is. Fantastic tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. And this map, especially after getting battered and bruised on Dust 2. Taco. He'll get 1. Nearly got away from him. He could have had 2 potentially if he was a little bit swifter on the trigger. He backs away as well, smokes down. At least they have the bomb in an established position, but Azza wants to get up the ladder. Fallen has to hold that. If he covers off the flank, they should be all right. Meanwhile, Taco's back to business. 4 HP, stays forward. Jacob was always going to find that, but it gives them the information as to how close he is. Smoke down. Fallen's gone away from it. Azza could actually catch them off. He's still in position to do so. Fallen's heard it. Good recovery. Turns around and takes him down. It's all to Leas, and Fallen's going to swing to the high side. Leas, he's got a kit to work with, but not enough time. Finally, MIBR gets one back, and he knows the situation. That gun's gone. That's going down with the bomb. Fallen's going to be the only gun saved in what is now a full reset.
That means they get $3,500 per player on the T side. Only 1 gun taken forward. It's not an AWP, it's an AUG. Renegades have not bucket loads of cash, but enough to get a full buy here. They'll have to drop and maybe take a pause just to distribute the weapons out efficiently. But MIBR buying up now. They've got AKs on 3 players. Taco, 1 flashbang, can't afford any enough grenades. Fur, 1 smoke. Phelps, same story. It's Fallen, it goes back to the Galil once again. They really have been hamstrung on this T side. It's round 13. We did say they need at least 4. This is a good start, but if they lose this round, it is a full reset, and they probably won't get much more than 2. Renegades in the driving seat. Orbs out again, and there's no one to challenge him.
As again, we'll hold off on Ivy. Maybe this veto had more in it than we knew. Maybe they were well aware, Renegades, that they were capable on this map and took Dust thinking they could win it in 2, catch them off. Boost up again on top of the server. Phelps angle. It should be a permanent kill every single time, and it is not tradable, so to speak. So there's no one else in a position. Grant will have to rotate back around. He plays old bomb. Jacob. He just wanted information. More than he wanted, I think, in the end.
That is bulldozing their way into bomb sites now. Stick is a 3-man unit. Phelps with the distraction towards Ivy. This is looking very good from MIBR. And they might better break the money down as well. But if Gratisfaction saves his AWP, it could be enough to persuade them to force into the next round. 4 versus 1. He holds towards Ivy. And finally, MIBR looking like they can actually do something with this T-half. It's Fallen locking in the AWP towards that position. He might be able to take him down and get the AWP for himself. Gratisfaction, 13 kills for his name. He's going to need a few more here to stay alive. Holds towards connector. Now spotted. Fallen will knife out and presumably make his way towards his position. But look at this movement. Great awareness, and he'll live to fight another day as he waits for more ensuing terrorists.
He's very swift. He leads the way on kills now with 15. Too higher than all else, but he will lose the AWP in the end. He still makes it costly for MIBR, but importantly, they now win 2 in a row. They'll be able to buy, and they've broken Renegades down, which means they have potential to make this 10-5. Certainly something they can work with.
That's enough. 10-5. They're still feeling confident they can do it. Yes, it's been a very rough half. This is usually how it goes. They didn't have the economy to really have any full buys. We didn't see the AWP until, what, round number 12? But if they can still make this work, win the pistol in the second half. It was the CT side back in the day, the SK Gaming golden era when they were so good on this map. It was their CT side, the aggression and the unpredictable gameplay that was so scary. As Taco will have the AWP this time, goes down the pop dog very quickly. Knows there's a player behind the E-box here, but will he get a chance to take him down? Bides his time, and Cold Zera somehow just eviscerates 2 in front of him. It's looking like he's on for a 3rd as well. He's not missing anything right now. Is he going for the ace? He does damage towards that connector, and now it's a 4-on-2, as there will be 1 frag, maybe a couple brought back. As Azat will deny the plant, but not much else. 10-4.
Not much else at all. Furs easily able to cover off Z connector. So here we go. This is it for MIBR. 11-4 is doable, but it's a lot harder if the economy even slips away slightly. Start of the half or otherwise. CT side especially. 5 gives them a very reasonable chance. There will not be an AWP for Gratisfaction. He'll have to sit with the AUG. No slouch on that either, though.
Certainly not. I don't think anyone is this tournament. It's been a massive talking point. Just Lee has the M4, 4 orgs, no kits, but they have got utility. Will we see a nice little aggressive push here? Try and get that information. Get the first frag, Taco! Aware that Jacob was going to push through, but can't land the all-important shot. Did they steal away the AWP? I don't think so. Fallen's got his eyes on him.
He certainly does. He's lit it ablaze as well. Meanwhile, Cold. Jacob's got another. He rotates back in, Fallen. He timed that to perfection! He absolutely does! I swear, you let him have his way, he'll tear you apart! Jacob gets absolutely ripped inside a pop dog. And he got the AWP. He timed that so well. Flames and Extinguish, grabs the AWP, drops again. Done.
There's not many players that can use the AWP like Fallen. Close range is where he does his most impressive work. That shot is no different, and now this is winnable for them. They still have a smoke, a Molotov, but Fallen wants another frag before they commit. He's heading towards inside by himself. AWP in hand, but there's so many angles to check. Will he be aware as to where JKS resides? He will now. 16 HP, has to fall back.
This is war. Fallen's gonna hold it off. Low HP, 16, but he has the AWP. Grat's gonna rotate back around as well, and he spots 1 toward E-box. That gives Leaz the information. Perfect bait. As he was up above, not peeking, and he knew full well that he had the similar angle, but a higher side of it, and he had to fight. Smoke goes down, Fallen wants back in. Phelps can't do anything about it. Fallen's gotta do it all. Spectacular kill at the start, comes shy in the end. 11 for Renegades at the half.
We said they needed 4. They have at least got that, but that was a difficult half for MIBR. They couldn't get their finances rolling. They couldn't continue any momentum, but it's an impressive start from Renegades after the huge deficit they received on Dust 2. They're fighting back here on Train. Will they close it out early? Will we go the full distance? You're gonna have to find out after this break.
11-4, Renegades in the lead. It's a lead, but is it going to last? MIBR go over to the CT side. We know they're capable of some very dirty things on Train. Do they have it in them, though? Can they pull it back? Can they get a pistol to get the money to do so?
Something tells me, yes, they do. They picked this map for a reason. They had a really up and down T-side, mostly down, to be honest, but towards the end, they started to get it together. We'll see if they can win the pistol as we head into the second half now. Just one player anchoring towards inside. Of course, that's Taco. 5 players above Pop Dog right now. They have got smokes and flashbangs here, and they will head towards inner. Taco will be backed up by Fur, hold towards the connector right now. Most common approach at this point would be smoke down lower ramp, flash over, go for the plant, and try and push towards the connector and shut down the rotations. That's what I can see so far. The fact they've got 5 players inside the brown holes, I think that's exactly what's going to happen, but we'll see. There's the smoke, actually goes towards the connector instead of down lower ramp. Still more of the same though, and Fur will be looking to challenge as he steps up, hits the first headshot, no problem at all. Can he find more? Oh my god, yes he can. It's going to be 3 kills for MIBR and just 1 player remaining.
The third kill for Fur. Phelps takes down JKS. It's exactly the start they wanted. No bomb plant either, so they won't have to worry about too much from Renegades forcing into this next round. Hopefully as well, that means they can build their economy. Again, you mentioned it, Fallen didn't have the op very much on the T side. They want to try and get it on his hands as much as possible this half.
They know the significance of that pistol victory now. I don't think Renegades are forced by in this second round. They're looking at the bigger picture. They didn't need to steal rounds away. They just need to play their game, bring out the AKs and make sure they're dropping their strategies, and we know they can play this map. So full eco here, probably another inside play. We talked about this in the first half. Taco this time with, I assume, an MP9. Yes, he's got one of those. Perfect weapon to shut down an inside push. So you want to play actually close to the A ramp, or the B ramp, I should say, on this particular round because you want to deny the plant. That's the aim of the game here for Taco.
As they're waiting with the flash to try and bust them inside. He's got Fur to help him. Blinded as he still fires in, tapping even. Works out. This goes down, Taco swinging. He'll find out Jacob before even the flank could arrive from Phelps, and trust me, it was. He was on the ramp already. It's now 11-6.
Now this begs the question, Matt. They've got 3 MP9s.
Yes.
They want to upgrade one of them, or I have casted a lot of MIBR games in my time. When they have these sort of setups, they like to push inside ramp. They like to challenge the main entrance or potentially Ivy. I would suggest those 3 MP9s go for a little gambit towards the lower ramp, something like that. You can't really play a static default CT setup with 3 MP9s. Someone has to get an AK, start applying pressure to the Renegades so they can't run a full default. You can't essentially let the Ts fully execute and run their default here. We'll see what happens. Doesn't seem to be initial push, but Cold's Era is going down towards Ivy, and a couple of players are getting ready at main entrance. This is what they're going to try and do with these MP9s now. Flash goes in, and they're looking for headshots, but no one there to receive them.
It's not a bad shout to go in toward A main as well.
Oh, what?
How did he quick switch that fast?
It was Fallen that saved them.
Oh, it was over top of him. I thought it was the up-close player. I thought it was Phelps. Phelps gets the AK for it, Fallen. That's stunning from on top of the Train.
Now Phelps has the AK. That's exactly what they wanted to do there. Get control of one part of the map, upgrade an MP9.
And you said Ivy or Halls, nothing wrong with either of those positions. Easy to use utility to get yourself into. But by going A main, sure, a bit more difficult. There's more angles when you walk through that garage door. But you're in the middle of the map as well. You can actually rotate off of it. You can take the information. They get a gun, they get a kill. That's the best possible scenario.
They had to make that work as well. This is looking very good. Not only did the man advantage, Phelps A very strong rifler now has an AK-47, but he does get caught out slightly. Drops the smoke and buys himself a little bit of time. They're coming out the main entrance right now. He's got a shooting gallery in front of him as they trade blows outside.
Sningy's back in. That sandwich. Smoke down, wants to look under it. Gratisfaction holds behind. Flash out. He gave the position up because JKS was next in and wanted to hold it as well. They will eventually pursue and run him down. That opens up the option of going back up the ladder. Gratisfaction's eyes glanced that way momentarily. It was a possibility, but they'll flash back in. All three are still here. 2 MP9s, the Og for Fur. He's the one that really has to control the situation, and he's so far removed. 17 seconds, though. They swing. Ah, it's too late now. He could have potentially done damage with the MP9s. Information will do for Fur, though, if he gets closer. If he gets brought in with these MP9s doing battle and no one suspects his arrival, he'll punish them. Taco making noise on the train, just jumping around for exactly that reason. And here comes Fur, finds one. He'll look back out toward A main as well, but he's punished. JKS gets it back, and unfortunately now the round looks to fall apart as Gratisfaction can just control the bomb. Not only that, he's got JKS working back in. They play the time, and they'll play the round to 12.
Well held by Renegades. They lose that first pick. It goes down to a 5-on-4, but they stay calm, they stay patient. They wait for the opportunity to fully execute towards outside. Good use of flashbangs and trading the frags towards that bomb site. It comes down to Cold Zera, who had to try and challenge in the 2 versus 1. Only had the MP9, though. And we get to round number 19. There still is a buy for the Brazilians here to go for 5 orgs. Once again, struggling to bring out that early AWP. Renegades do answer back. It's now 2-1 in the second half. But if they can win this round, they have a chance to close this out early. That's a big if.
Sprays back through. Not often do we see those shots do much. They can certainly be annoying.
Yeah, normally against the eco players, we'll see a kill or 2. Oh, that's not bad. Nice grenade.
Softens them up. Taco falls off of it, Molotov down. He'll pop flash himself back in. Took a bit of damage from the flames, but it was very well timed. Only manages 1, however. Cold will do more. Swings back round bomb, he knows it's down, slows the aim, and slows the round. It's 12-7 and a reset Renegades.
So Taco only gets 1, but that flashbang causes so much disruption there. They've got 3 players blind, there's flames down as well, multiple CTs ready to engage as soon as they commit, and it's a very clean one from MIBR. That was must win in my book. If they lost that, they were going to be fully reset. It would have been 13-7, they had eco against them. And indeed, ladies and gentlemen, a bit quiet today. Let's make some noise. This is a quarterfinal after all. Renegades now feeling the pressure. They're the ones without the cash, and MIBR creeping back into this game. Glocks are out for now as they discuss their options. Kassad, very intelligent Counter-Strike mind. We'll see what he can come up with. I don't think they'll invest much here. They are going to get $1,900 on top of what they have right now into the next round. So that's enough to actually get a decent buy together, considering they're all hovering around just over 2K right now. There will be compromises. They might want to take the force buy and take a couple of ecos after that, or go for the victory now. It looks like they'll take the full eco though as we get into round number 20. Nothing purchased. There's a deagle from Jacob and a flashbang. As we said, they're normally towards inside in these sort of rounds, just to try and sneak in a plan.
I'll leave the bomb behind intentionally. So sneaking in a plant won't be the name of the game thus far. It'll be try and find a pick, maybe get a gun. As already backing off toward T-spawn, though I presume he'll pick that up and eventually they will fall into line. This is MIBR's map again. We mentioned it because now that they have momentum, nothing is sacred for Renegades. Just 5 to go and they're back into it. They'll be knotted up. Deuces. It's Jacob. Hoping for the best. Couple of shots down Ivy. Here we go, though, with down to 57 seconds. He'll go gather back around. Actually going to go toward A main. Still no one's going for the bomb. I would have thought by now. Okay, Asa will.
They're just trying to bleed out a utility here. Just try and make this expensive in one regard for the CTs. They can bleed out all the incendiaries, the smokes, which has actually been very successful so far. They might not find many kills, but at least they'll affect the bank accounts in that regard. So here they go, towards outside. This has been an agonizing round in terms of the length of it. It won't yield many results, but it all counts. The fact they actually took so many grenades from them, maybe get a plant as well. This could be actually pretty promising. It doesn't go down, but a valiant attempt there. They get no kills, but man, that's actually not too bad.
A couple of smokes lost.
And now they have to decide in round number 21. If they want to buy up here, they've got 3 players underneath that 4K mark. I think another partial buy should be coming forward here. As Phelps is confident.
Yeah, I think you have to. It's still going to be a 3-round spread. If you don't do that, you yourself have to consider that the enemy is closer than you are to your goal. In other words, they'll be 3 rounds behind, and you still have 4 rounds to go. Think long-term still.
Yeah. So just Eagles, some CZs, always have potential to win these sort of rounds, especially with the smokes available to them. They definitely have some executions up their sleeve. As they try to bait out some shots towards Port, they'll get the information if there's any CTs on the other side.
Oh,
wow. Ouch.
Oh, Fur, when he saw that second one come down, his heart would have sank. What can he possibly do? If he runs forward, they just shoot him in the head.
Luckily, he's playing train, though, so he can fall back, way back, towards the hitches, towards positions like connector, and he'll still have a pretty good advantage. It's lucky for glass cannon AWPers, especially. They can display it defensively, and HP is not a massive issue, but still a minute to go, and Renegades have done some significant damage.
Gather again. This time there is a bit more utility held, so the last smoke, take it back, the second last smoke, there's one for Fur. Taco just threw his. The last one they have left is on Fur, and he currently is on B. This will be A execution and hoping for the plant. Phelps again, trying to get toward the ladder. He'll go back up into control room. Now Fallen calls certainly that he spotted multiple inside of A main. Did they spot Jacob go back though? They're so distracted. Good thing Cold considers it, looks around, spots bomb as well, knows now he just has to hold off sandwich, so falls further off the angle toward the green train, and that gives Fallen the shot. Speaking of shots, JKS, 1 HP. Nearly got one against Phelps, but for the second round in a row, MIBR keep all 5 alive.
MIBR doing it. They're creeping back into this game. Nothing is safe against them on the CT side. They're currently up 5-1 now. You can see the pressure starting to mount on the Renegades side. It's never over. Even a convincing score, even a 13-2, still wouldn't have been enough to convince me that MIBR are going to go down without a fight here. They're sticking on the 5 orgs. They've got enough to bring out the AWP, but I guess they're looking at the bigger picture. This is working for now. We're winning all these rounds, but there is a change coming forward. Gratisfaction does have the AWP now. So will we see another fast approach from MIBR? Fights towards inside, perhaps. There's going to be Taco by himself, bravely gets a grenade in there, and indeed, they are hunting for some kills here. They know the money's back in favor for Renegades as they push forward. I think Az has got a couple here, potentially. I don't believe it. How has Fur made that kill work?
Fallen gonna get boosted. Rather boost instead. Cold's gonna go up. They're gonna, oh, Gratisfaction. I was gonna say they're gonna get a second. It didn't look like he was ready at all. It didn't look like he was up for battle. Stays alive on 28 HP. Jacob's already gotten inside of the ladder room. This starts to look very good. Despite that they lost the early kill, it still looks good because they've got Ivy, and they can press the issue from either side of the outer sight. Bomb still waits back toward the dumpster. They'll gather that now, surely. But that's a nice retake, and I say retake because it is. The CTs have to get back in toward Pop Dog. Nade goes back down. They presume what we've seen. And exactly what they wanted is what they achieved. They get a player inside. JKS and Jacob start to rotate off. Remember, though, Fur is back over on this B site with Taco. It's no longer the solo hold.
The bomb's all the way back at C-spawn for now. This should be somewhat sort of a fake.
Wow, I thought it was looking toward Ivy. He's just setting up for smokes, so you're right. This could be the fake.
So with 20 seconds remaining, the inside fake, and the CTs are pushing up behind them. Oh my goodness, it's Phelps who gets him down to 1 HP.
It's fine, even though he doesn't get the... Oh, there he is! That's everything they needed! Because even though he was on the ladder and couldn't get the kill, he fell off the angle. He could still hold them at bay, but he gets caught off. Sharks in the water, and Renegades on the site with just enough time. Bomb, 1 second will get planted. Taco works his way back in, at least finds JKS. Fur's still lurking. He's still not convinced he's completely alone toward Pop Dog, but Taco's found angles. He's got everything going his way, and that's exactly when Fur comes back into the picture.
MIBR barely flinch as they fend off the fake towards inside. They rotate towards the outside bomb site there. Like you said, Renegades have 1 second on the plant. A valiant attempt there. Nice idea. Well executed, but MIBR well too aware. These guys are absolute veterans. They've seen it all. And they were ready to shut that one down. It's Phelps who gets the initial information there. Goes up the ladder, somehow survives. So this kill was astonishing. Just to note, it was Phelps that gives the call. It is a fake, and Taco holds strong towards that connector. Picks him off 1 by 1. This is a really nice play from him. Stays calm, doesn't overcommit to the spray, and manages to close out the round. Bomb planted. Lost bonus racking up again. It's only a 4th stage here, so another partial buy as MIBR claw back round by round. First time we'll see a fallen orb, by the way.
Yeah, they haven't really needed it yet. They
Not
definitely,
on the CT side.
Exactly. They definitely would love to have it in his hands, but because they've been so effective and so efficient, they've just been keeping guns up.
Yeah, well, every time he has the opportunity to buy, he's like, well, they're eco now. I probably shouldn't. Should I just get the rifle again? It's working, so fair play.
Yeah, exactly. But now he'll bring it to play. As we say, it doesn't often find a kill that you fire through the wooden windows, but it can be a nuisance. It's one of those shots that's just worth considering. There's an Azza rotating back in as well to join with the rest of the team. Fast plant needs to be the goal this time. It is going to be a full 5-round loss bonus. It's only on 4 this time, but a bomb plant on top of that, and they'll be set pretty for whatever they'd like. 5 ops if they wanted. Not that you would. For Taco. Started to become a bit of a 1-2 punch. We saw JKS was so effective holding this solo in the first half. We know that Taco was very effective holding B solo on Dust in the first map, but he's got Fur with him, and things have been going so well, they might as well leave him there, certainly against pistols as well, because if he gets overrun, they don't want to give up a bomb plant unless they have to. So Fur's life lost, but the round certainly won, and Gratisfaction forced off of it. Phelps was able to get the angle on rotation.
Now this is why they picked Train. It all makes sense now. They had a rough start on T side. It happens to the best of them, absolutely. They couldn't get their finances going. They made some mistakes with their executions, but you can see the CT side is looking pretty clinical right now. Renegades still in the lead. It's 12-11 on their T side, but they've only posted 1 round in the second half. Runners 11-4 at half. Right now, the door is wide open for MIBR to jump through it. Gratisfaction brings out the orb. He's got 22 frags to his name, but not many of them have come from this half.
Fallen already getting aggressive. Op didn't have to do anything last round, this time against the guns. He wants to force his hand. Almost as though it's been missing something in the first half. He's keen to prove a point. Gratisfaction's certainly been impressive to go against it. There is a wealth of young oppers coming through the scene now that are...
Oh, yes.
We used to say, okay, great, Gratisfaction, great, new on the scene. Hooray, you got to go against Fallen, no chance. Nowadays, we see a new opper, Zywoo. We come through and we think, there's a chance they could win this battle. There's so much more talent.
Yeah, lots of young and exciting players appearing at this event, and I'm sure 2019 we're going to unearth a few more as well. Here's Jacob, though. He's an old veteran, actually finding his form at this tournament and showing the world he can still compete with the very best of them as he heads out towards the Ivy position. Phelps fully aware of it.
Cold's going to rotate around, though. They won't actually going to wait for the smoke timing, and it's a good thing that he does because he now needs to fill the void of where Phelps previously stood. He can't do it, but Fallen, he gets the nade in. Still they sit, level aside. As they're waiting on the smoke, but they're going to go above it. Trying to deny the bomb, they just got him! Taco just got him in time! That causes problems. There's 30 seconds left on the clock, so they'll get the bomb back down, but the post plant is certainly not favorable. Azza's going to take matters into his own hands. Back up on top. Does he realize Taco's still above?
I'm not sure.
Doesn't even care. He's going to back out and play the long game, and it's the right call. Spotted nonetheless. Do they know where JKS is? Out toward Hell. And Fur's looked there, but he's looked away. Smoke on the bomb. 2 to play off of this. Taco's still holding on ticket, and they want the high ground. That's supposed to line up. JKS thinks they're on it inside of it. It gives them away. Smartly, they backed off. It's 12-12. They have pulled this back.
Fur couldn't have played that any better there. They know they got the advantage of the 2 versus 1. Yes, JKS, one of the best clutches at this tournament so far. If you drop the smoke on the bomb, touch it, he has to react. He can't assume that's a fake. He has to at least inspect the situation. That's exactly what they wanted. Taco, though, for me, what a play that is. He sprays towards the floor. First 10 bullets don't connect. transfers towards the actual bomb train itself, denies the plant, and that throws an absolute spanner in the works there. As you go to round number 25, MIBR have actually done it. They tied things up after 11-4 half against them. It's now 12-12. Renegades with maximum loss bonus did get the bomb down. They will have another buy here. But it's all on the line now. They lost the first map 16-7, and now find themselves looking down the barrel of tournament elimination at the hands of the Brazilians here. They haven't found much success in this first half at all. The pressure starting to mount. The furthest they've ever got at a major. It could all come crashing down in the next few rounds. They need to step up. Have they found the answers here?
And they watched the Endearing Story events yesterday, and that would have absolutely lifted their spirits coming into this, thinking they could do the same. Fortunately, so far, it hasn't proved to be. Fallen back over toward the A side. They'll double up with utility toward A main, and again, he wants to get this off directly in their face. Cold as well wants to get aggressive. Not common, you see a rifle get up behind that box, but what a position it is. So long as he's not flashed and he's ready for the wide side peek. He's committed at that point as well, though, keep in mind. As soon as anyone goes down that hole, there's more than one. Even if Cold finds the first, he has nowhere to hide. He has to fight and therefore be efficient. That flash gives him a chance, though. That's quite creative. Taco's going to do the same. They've thought this through.
Yeah, this is really interesting. If they can time this well, there's potentially 3 kills available for Cold Zero. The flashbang has to be spot on. It's good! But Jacob somehow hits it, completely blind. They were fully aware of that play. Wow.
That is so impressive. I'd love to see Jacob's POV, because if they were crosshair perfectly placed on the box, that's one thing. If he was looking toward the corner, it may have just been a little bit fortunate that it's a similar angle, but either way, it's caught them out. Cold would have been hoping that they were up a little bit further than that. Phelps will spot one. Damage applied, but only just. Jacob gets away, and there's 3 up above that ladder, so even if they do go for one, they can nade him out. They've been doing this multiple times. Smartly, he read that, because they've done it so much, he got away, back in. They had to go together, they had to look for trades, and they were a bit careless in doing so, so it'll be the totem drop. Potentially it is, and they'll get one back with it.
It was looking a little bit scrappy towards that pop dog area. Now there's only 20 seconds remaining. Can they commit towards outside? 2 players towards a pop dog. Time running out. Good HE from Fallen. And he's going to do a ton of damage with it as he looks towards main entrance. I thought he was going to hit that, but there's still a chance for more. There's the bomb. It goes down.
He's got that already. Nearly got the one up on top of Blue Train as well, but he's got problems now because they're on all sides of him. He still hit Azza, but there was 2 going the other way, and with 2 seconds, though, they can't plant it. Fur lives out, and that wins the round alone. It's the lead for MIBR.
Fallen is showing us why he's considered one of the all-time greats of the AWP. He misses a couple, but he hits the one that really counts there. The bomb goes down, time runs out, and it's Jake S and Leaz are going with no money into that next round. Unbelievable. It's 13-12 MIBR, and somehow he makes that work. Here's the replay of Jacob. He gets flashed, and it wasn't even aiming at him. It was like a stray bullet while moving. That's pretty remarkable. But there you go. Sometimes it's luck that can help you out, as they have to take a partial buy here. MIBR just putting out all the stops when it matters.
Pops backs off. I give up Ivy this time, single smoke down, but it's, again, Taco and Fur aligned at B, and it is heading that direction, fastest plant possible. Single smoke, jump out from ramp, potentially get it in position before anyone can do anything about it, even with utility or elsewise. Taco still holds with that AWP. It's certainly heading his direction. You take the aim. Perfect shot from Taco. Shoulder bait.
It's going to scare them off as well. They can't just flood out the upper ramp now, knowing there's an AWP there. They've got a couple of flashbangs, 1 smoke. They are going for it. There's the smoke, and the incendiary behind it. That's genius. And it segregates all of them. They're taking so much damage here. Into the meat grinder they go. It's Taco waiting on the other side. They will get a plant out of this, but the looks of things, they need that. It's a 4 versus 2. Maybe there's a chance they can win this.
Just enough of that single kill on Fur was all they needed to get that bomb down. Gratisfaction. It's Fallen. Looks for a little bit more. No chance he was going to win the round at that point anyway. And MIBR find 14, but the bomb going down is a little bit of salvation for Renegades, because it's more money in their pockets, and they desperately need that now. But what's the answer? They have not have one at all. They've had, what, 3rd round, that's it. And that was a bonus round for MIBR. The full gun rounds, they haven't won a single one yet.
14-12. Double AWP set up now, of course. Taco, great job towards inside. So good. He's not the flashiest AWPer. He doesn't do the craziest clutches with it, but he hits the shots that really count. As I said, that pressure's starting to mount now. JKS starting to show it as we get into round 27. They've only got one round on their T side so far. It's been an epic tournament for Renegades, but to go out in this fashion would be gutting for them. They had this map. It felt like it was theirs. After getting crushed on Dust 2, a resurgence was on the cards. They got him. They've fallen. He's got into 5th gear here, right at the last moments of Train. Hits that shot fully blind, of course. Does he live? Of course he does. It looks so good for MIBR right now.
Can't follow it up this time as it gets 2 back, and it's the 2 players on that side. That opens up the lane. Further that with Phelps falling, and it's all to Taco. He gets back in. He's followed it as well as it's gone. Gratisfaction's the one with the ball, but he's got to do it all with an AWP, and that's not going to happen. MIBR fine map and series point.
A faster approach from the T side there. Renegades can't break down the defense though. The double orbs finding all the kills, and then Gratisfaction and 2 versus 1. No information, so many angles to look at. The bomb was down. He had to go for it. Taco has really come to life here. He was known as a support player throughout his tenure within this roster. He's anything but right now. He's looking like he's leading the charge as he actually top frags with 23 and 15. Great stuff from him as they find series point now. Timeout for Renegades. They need 3 in a row on the T side of Train just to stay alive in the tournament. That will get us to overtime. Surely this can't be done, but they are the kings of the comeback. We've seen it many times from them before.
Well, this is a game that got away from them. The king of the comeback this time, MIBR. Remember, they were 11-4 down. It's 12-15. Double up again, Taco. Pretty solid on it. Great return to MIBR for him. In fact, tied for the lead with Fur on 23. Fallen just behind on 22. That's your 2 offers. And it's not like they've had it a lot, so they've been finding success on all facets. Aggressive again, Cold. He goes out toward Ivy. Flash not there yet, but did throw a nade just to see if they were up close. 3 players on the other side of it. Probably not the best decision if he were to commit. Does he get back before the smoke fades? He could stay there the whole time. In fact, he'll just add to that. Secondary smoke, keep him in the position. And this time, Fallen will call for Cold to get away. There's not another smoke they can put there, so he gets back to the cubby instead. Nades will go immediately by him, and the fact that he spotted 2 nades confirms that there's 2 there. And I almost feel sorry for what Cold's gonna do, because they had no idea he was in the corner. He steps back out, and he absolutely takes the round away. It's likely the series. Cold on 4. He's come down with a sickness they don't have the cure for. And he's looking for the ace just to shut it out. They're even going to let him. They're all standing there saying, go for it, buddy. Either way, this is done. Renegades will bow out now. Legends, but no further.
You got to respect it. You can't deny these guys are legends of the game. They progressed toward the semi-finals. 11-4 down a half, but there was no doubt in my mind they could bring a comeback to the table there. Fantastic stuff. And commiserations to Renegades. This is the highest they've ever placed at a major. They can hold their heads high. This hard work, this grit and determination has shown itself in this event. No one expected them to make it into top 8, and they stunned the world with that.
Impressive. There's certainly a story there, and it's absolutely something to be proud of. Sure, this game may not have gone their way, but they will get to come back to the next major, and they'll have more time to prepare for it. They get the easy road. They get to show up at the round of 16. As for MIBR, this is more like it. This is back to what we expect. They are absolutely in the mix right now. Astralis, NIP come up next. Either of those teams, this is a warning shot to them.
Absolutely a team to be feared. Sean Gares coming into our second map said these are contenders, and they've proven it. Overcoming adversity on Train, they did have to start on that notorious T side, but that didn't stop them as they overcome it all to finish this in a 2-0 fashion. Renegades, yes, you reflect upon their run, and it is nothing but sunshine and rainbows. Sure, you're not going to be striding into the semi-finals, but to fall to an MIBR like that, this is not an MIBR from the Challenger stage.
Not at all. This is some beautiful Counter-Strike we've seen out of MIBR today in the quarterfinals. Their CT aggression was non-stop on both of these maps, whether it be Ivy, T-Main, Inner. We saw them try so many different things throughout this series, and this is a team that can make a run.
it's a clear sign that the synergy that we talked about leading into this game has definitely been established by MIBR once again. They were playing with Stu, they were playing with Tarek, sorry. Back then it didn't look too good all of the time. Now this time around, the way they're playing off each other, with each other, the synergy they have, the in-game mid-calling they're doing as well. MIBR, as you said, Sean, they look like a real contender now.
Gone are the days where we would talk about MIBR and the language barrier. Gone are the days where we talk about MIBR and their one-dimensional counter-terrorist defense. It's all changing back to what it used to be.
And I kind of dropped a few jokes when they lost 16-3 to Cloud9 because they looked like their communication was so poor. But this version of MIBR, they've grown as this tournament progressed. And honestly, if I'm NIP or Astralis, I'm scared.
Oh, absolutely. Of course, I'm scared for the game I'm about to play if I'm NRP or Astralis, but also for what lies in front at the semi-final. MIBR picking themselves up another battle in the Spodek. We have a winner's interview standing by on the stage.